I'd like to welcome everyone to our regular meeting, Tuesday, September 30th. I'd like to call to order a public meeting notice. The North Hunterdon-Voorhees Regional High School District Board of Education meeting on Tuesday, September 30th, 2025 is now called to order. In accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 1046, adequate notice giving the time, date, location, and to the extent known for the agenda of this meeting was published by the Hunterdon County Democrat and the Star Ledger on January 9, 2025. In addition, notice of this meeting has been posted at North Hunterdon High School and Voorhees High School, provided to the municipal clerks of Bethlehem Township, Califon Borough, Town of Clinton, Clinton Township, Franklin Township, Glen Borough, Hampton Borough, Highbridge Borough, Lebanon Borough, Lebanon Township, Tewksbury Township, and Union Township, as well as other interested parties, and posted on the district website. Fire exits are located in the directions that pointed. If alerted to fire, please move in a calm and orderly fashion to the nearest smoke-free exit. Restrooms are located through the doors behind here, and to the right is indicated. At this time, please silence all cell phones. Can we have a roll call, please, Katie?
Mr. Chapman?
Here.
Dr. Dean? Here. Ms. Gallo?
Here.
Ms. Sims? Here. Ms. Potram? Here. Mr. Lordy?
Here.
Mr. McIsaac?
Here.
Ms. Reyes?
Here.
Mr. Stanton?
Here.
Ms. Beato? Here. And Ms. Salino?
Here. Can we rise for the flag salute?
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have a motion and a second to approve agenda item 4.1, which are the minutes from August 19th, 2025 board meeting?
So second.
I need to abstain.
I need to abstain too, Katie.
Got it?
Voted yet?
We made the motion and it
A
was
second.
second, so we have to vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Abstentions? I think there's 4 of us.
Got it.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Get it back.
We'd like to move on to our Chief School Administrative Report, Dr. Burchak.
Thank you, Kim. All right, we'll get the good stuff out of the way first. Congratulations to North Hunterdon High School senior Sophia Stacy, who won first place and a $2,000 prize in the NAMI Hunterdon Expressive Arts Contest for her painting. This contest invited high school students across Hunterdon County to share original works of art, whether they're paintings, songs, or essays that reflect their thoughts about mental illness. So congratulations to Sophia for winning that prize. North Hunterdon High School is also proud to announce North Hunterdon High School is also proud to announce that senior Joseph Koipman has been named a semifinalist in the 71st Annual National Merit Scholarship Program. Officials from the National Merit Scholarship Program recently released the names of over 16,000 semifinalists nationwide. That represents less than 1% of U.S. high school seniors. These academically talented students now have the opportunity to continue in the competition for nearly 7,000 National Merit Scholarships worth a combined total of almost $26 million to be awarded in the spring of 2026. So congratulations again to Joseph. And last but certainly not least, North Hunterdon and Voorhees are also proud to announce that the following seniors have been recognized as commended students in the 2026 National Merit Scholarship Program. This honor is awarded to students who demonstrate exceptional academic progress through their outstanding performance on the PSAT and the NMSQT, which is the National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. Congratulations to these these talented students on their well-deserved recognition. From Voorhees, we have Anthony Gilo, C. Lou, Samantha Orr, with us tonight, congratulations, and Zavik Zamara. And then at North Hunterdon, we have Alex Beswick, Eric Beswick, Mia Henk, Audrey Minsavage, Caleb Mormon, Matthew Murray, Moyasor Ogonkoya, Sanvi Sanchin, Samantha Shustak, Ivy Sorhaj, Mason Witkowski, Amber Ronsky, and Kevin Zhang. And last but not least, our biomed students were also Shidera Amiso and Natalie Lowenstein. So congratulations to all of them. And the two other things I wanted to mention tonight, on September 17th, the North Hunterdon-Voorhees High School District held its annual countywide college fair. We had approximately 140 colleges, military, universities, and tech schools in attendance. It was once again a great success. The district sends invitations to all of the Hunterdon County schools, Phillipsburg High School, Warren Hills High School, and Immaculata High School, and we get hundreds of excited parents and students coming to gather information to see where they would like to go after graduation, and hopefully open up a new path. And I'd like to give a shout out to Mike Squarsha for all the hard work he does to organize that. It's a great district-wide event and a lot of work, but we get a lot of information out of it for our students. So thank you, Mike. And then I just want to mention our career development program at North Hunterdon High School as well. We've expanded this year. We have quite a few businesses that have volunteered to be partners with us. The partnership with local businesses provides our special education students with valuable hands-on work experience in a local business setting. And some businesses that we are currently partnering with are Peterson Farm, the Hunterdon County Library, Target, HealthQuest, ShopRite, Chick-fil-A, Lowe's, the Goddard School, Jimmy Rock Inn, McDonald's, 39 Mine, Possibilities, Crown Trophy, and Duck Donuts. And I'd like to thank all those businesses because without their support, we couldn't provide the services that we need for our students. So thank you for your support, and we appreciate it. So that is all my really good news. And then we have our report on harassment, intimidation, and bullying. There was one report that was founded for all, and that you'll be voting on next month when we are affirming that. And then we have our school bus emergency evacuation drill forms. Both high schools were able to complete those already. You can see those forms there. We have our monthly reports, which again, really is the month of August at this point, so not a lot on there yet. And then we have our district goals. And I can read out these district goals if you'd like. Share it with everybody.
Sure, absolutely, share it with the
So these goals were developed with our entire administrative team. We spent a lot of time looking at our strategic plan, trying to come up with priorities from that strategic plan, and then developing goals that we know we can accomplish this year on an annual basis. The strategic plan is a 5-year process, but in order to do that, we're going to take it in chunks each year and hopefully meet those goals annually, so that at the end of that 5 years, we've met all the goals that we want to in that plan. So the first goal we have is by the end of the 25-26 school year, we would like to increase staff satisfaction with school climate and support systems through initiatives focused on staff camaraderie, wellness, recognition, and facility improvements. Data from the school climate improvement survey that is conducted annually will be analyzed to determine improvements, as well as qualitative data collected from the Strategic Planning Advisory Committee. Our second goal, and these are not in order of priority, these are just 4 goals. So by June 2026, the district will successfully develop and begin implementation of a future-ready learning framework, leading to increased integration of AI tools in instruction and learning and enhanced authentic learning opportunities across all grade levels, as measured by curriculum documentation, teacher professional development records, and student engagement metrics. Our third goal is to enhance the transparency of financial operations to the community by early communication of budget information, establishing budget timelines that are communicated early and regularly, and inclusion of facility project discussions during the funding year 26-27 annual budget process. And the last one is by June 2026, the district will implement a multi-platform communication strategy through our website, social media, newsletters that will increase stakeholder engagement. Again, these are all things that came out of strategic plan, things that we collected with the through the survey data and also through the meetings that we have with our stakeholders.
Thank you, Rich.
That's my report.
If appropriate, I just wanted to commend Rich and your team on really taking that voluminous information and filtering it to those most salient sort of topics. I think they're great focus goals, and I look forward to the action plans that you'll spell out under them.
Thank you. Yes.
Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Yeah, I have a question. So I guess my comment on goal 3 is, I don't really understand that, and that it seems more of that should be standard? Like, what are we going to do to enhance transparency of financial operations to the community by early communication of budget information? It's not happening now?
So if you remember, that was one of the things that we scored the lowest on in our strategic plan survey data. All these things are happening on the back end, but as far as communicating that and having people have an interest in it from a financial side, that was shown that the community doesn't have all the information they want. They would want more information, so we wanted to increase that communication. So that's what we're planning on doing. This is really to increase the transparency so that the community understands what we do from a budget perspective.
But I guess I just don't understand what we're going to do differently to do that.
We're going to communicate more at board meetings. We're going to develop some type of a portal or a dashboard on the website so that we can show what we're doing as far as facility projects and how we are going through that budget process, communicate timelines.
The biggest piece was
something you were asking for, basically.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. Presentation being at the March meeting.
Yeah, that was another big thing too, thank you. For years, we have always done our budget presentation in April. But this year, that was something I know you wanted particularly, but I
Yep.
think everybody wanted was.
That part, yeah.
Was ours to do our budget presentation at the preliminary budget, so that you have the month of March into April to discuss it. And so that was, again, a big change in our practice. I think it aligns with this goal, so.
Yeah, accelerating the calendar, I think that's great.
Yeah, that'll all be part of it.
For goal 4, can you share with us how that will be measured?
Yeah, I think that's going to be, again, qualitative data determining whether or not the community feels like the communication has become easier or has increased. Increasing communication doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be better, right? We hear that sometimes too. Sometimes we send too many emails, and it's hard to keep track of. But if you don't send enough, you're not getting the information out there. So I think we're going to try to find that balance. And also have some static places where people can find the information if they want it, instead of just forcing it on everybody, saying, here's where it's at. If you want to check in on a periodic basis, here's what you can do. And again, I think one of those things that we're going to use the word dashboard a lot this year, but we're going to try to create a dashboard for strategic planning for these district goals so that we can keep track of our progress with that as well.
We had also talked about that for each of the committees that operates, that they too would sort of tend to the relative goal that falls into their area. And actually, we began to, even though there was nothing to really talk about yet, we sort of established that with the curriculum committee and that future ready framework, and being able to report out on that each month sort of holds us to account as well.
So yeah, this is the start of the process right now. Now that we have these, developed, we're going to go over board goals in a little bit, and I think they align very well with that. And I think, if we're all moving in that same direction, I think we'll be in good shape.
Are we voting on the board goals tonight, or how is that? Are we just discussing them?
We're discussing them. I'll share. Everyone has the board goals, but let's get through, if Rich is finished.
I am, yes.
Is everyone finished? We can
I
move
just have
forward.
one other question. So the school climate improvement survey, what kind of, I never seen it. Who does it go out to? What kind of questions are asked on it?
Sure, it goes out to parents, it goes out to students, and it goes out to staff. And it asks questions about how satisfied they are with their school environment. I know the students are nodding their heads, Max is nodding his head, because I know he's probably seen it go out more than once, and I'm sure there's parents that have seen it as well. It's the school climate inventory is a survey that was developed by Rutgers and Montclair University, I believe. We've actually been a part of it since, I think it was 2011 when they piloted it in the state. At the time, it was called the SCUBA survey, if anybody remembers that. And then that turned into a statewide initiative where the state actually said they loved the data that they were collecting, and they created it into a state initiative. And I think most schools use it now.
How's it scored?
It's a Likert scale.
Lots of questions.
Yeah.
Reliability.
And then there's averages within categories, and you can do all kinds of breakouts. You can do, they've actually improved the tool a little bit over the years where you can do some strategic goals within the platform.
And has there historically been a decent return, rate, response?
Yeah, we get a pretty good response rate, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very long, so it's not
Yeah.
cumbersome for a parent.
Is it 10 questions, 20 questions?
remember the exact amount, but I would say somewhere between 10 and 20.
Yeah. It's been 3 years since I took it.
Yeah, me too, but I've taken it since.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're a parent, you get it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Okay.
parents.
It's short enough.
Chair, maybe offer that.
How about in community relations, maybe? We
Yeah.
talked about the school climate survey.
Perfect.
Maybe sharing it, if there's board members that don't have students in the district, sharing that with them.
Perfect, thank you.
So the students, the parents, and teachers all get the same survey with the same questions?
They're tailored towards those groups, but
They
they are
are.
essentially the same
Okay.
questions, yeah. They're
I'd like to see
they're
it.
measuring the same things. I should
Sure,
say.
I'd like to see it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, any other comments or questions regarding district goals?
Yeah.
I think Jessica would ask when we were
Oh.
voting on them.
No,
No.
I asked if we were voting on board.
Oh, sorry, never mind.
No.
Wrong
District
one.
goals, we
Yep.
don't vote on. For the superintendent.
Any other,
I'm just thinking out loud, with the district goals. This might be new business, so apologize in advance if I'm not a step. Is it possible moving forward that when we've approved them, that the district goals are on each Board of Ed agenda, whether it be at the bottom or someplace that's centrally located?
it's a great idea.
And I know you have been linking on your superintendent report back to goals, so.
Yes.
Yes, I get to do that again.
Place for
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, yeah, so I'm going to continue that. I have a couple different formats we'll talk about, but same idea.
You mean just listing them or having them as a discussion item?
No,
Like a
listen, so
footnote
it's like,
to
these
the
are our
actions.
goals, it's just, they're always there,
Ah.
yeah. Remind us.
Front of mind.
Yeah, perfect.
Great idea.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things I changed our mission statement at the bottom of my email. And that was something I thought was important. We have that at the bottom of our emails, make sure we remind ourselves all the time about it.
Any other comments? Okay, moving on to school board president report. We would like to welcome our student reps to the board. And I'll have to check on last names, I'm sorry. North Hunterdon High School, we have Maxwell, is it Skylar? Sklar. And Maura Green as our alternate. And for Voorhees High School, we have Samantha Orr and Andrew Bruce. Welcome. We're.
So, yeah, saying a little bit about themselves.
So why don't we start, can we start with Voorhees High School? Samantha, can you and Andrew give a little, excerpt about yourself, share, and
So hi, I'm Sam Orr. I'm super excited to be the Voorhees student representative this year. My interest in this position actually began when I was in 4th grade. Both of my parents are educators, and so I went to a numerous amount of board meetings. And I did see the student representative, and I was like, I want to do that one day, and now here I am. At Voorhees, I'm incredibly involved. I'm the drama club stage manager and vice president. I'm the Relay for Life chapter founder at our school. I'm the Key Club president and the Hebrew Culture Club co-president, and I'm a class officer. And I'm very excited to be here today, so thank you all.
welcome.
Hello, everybody. My name is Andrew Bruce. I'm a senior at Voorhees, in the same class as Sam. I want to thank everybody for the warm welcome. So I'm really excited to be doing this, partially because I love helping people, and that ties into a lot of my extracurriculars. So already being able to kind of suggest things to Mr. Peterson and the rest of the Voorhees administration, which are great, and just kind of voicing their concerns makes me super happy. So I'm really excited for that and to continue doing that with Sam throughout the year. So for school, super into my business classes. I'd say that's my favorite class, just wanted to note that. And then out of school, I'm really into fire department, rescue services. So I'm on South Branch, which covers Clinton Township and Lebanon Township Fire Department. I also work, I do social media marketing, so that takes up a lot of my time. And yeah.
Welcome, great. And Maxwell?
Hi, everyone. I'm Maxwell Sklar. I'm a senior at North Hunterdon. Thank you for letting me be here with you all today. I'm a senior class officer as well as part of the Biomedical Sciences Academy at North. I'm also, like the other representatives, very involved with the school. I am the president of my school's Rho Kappa History Honor Society, as well as heavily involved in our music department. I am the drum major of my school's marching band, as well as the vice president of our Music Honor Society. The reason I wanted to be this role is because I've been a class officer for 4 years now, and I've always made it my mission to hear the voice of my class and voice their concerns, and I felt that this role would be an amazing final step to really make change for that and complete my mission my senior year.
Great.
Hi everyone, my name is Mara Green. I'm North Hunterdon Senior Class President. I'm a part of the Biomedical Sciences Academy as well as Max, and I would love to be a nurse practitioner one day. I am an all-round varsity cross-country and track runner for all 4 years of high school. Between my 3 older siblings and I, we have been a part of North Hunterdon for 13 consecutive years. I'm the youngest, so my mom's awfully sad, but I have a passion for being involved in the school. I'm on a number of leadership committees with planning the future of the school and the longevity of it, and I just want to make it a better place outside here.
That's awesome.
I know it's your first meeting, but do you have any updates for us? Anything you'd like to share? Off the cuff here. No, don't.
Voorhees is doing great. We're having a great school year. I'll have a more detailed report next meeting, but we're really enjoying the school year. Everyone seems to be really happy with some of the positive changes that come along with a new year, so I'll keep you guys posted.
Great, thank you.
We're thinking of doing a spirit week next week, so if you would like to tell the students, your kids, or anyone you know to participate, that would be great.
Awesome, thank you, Maura. Thank you. Okay, just an announcement, regular meeting Tuesday, October 28th, 7 p.m. here in the district office. Also, NJSBA's Workshop 2025, October 20th to the 23rd in Atlantic City, and I believe we're signed up as a group, correct?
We do have the group rate.
We do have the group rate.
Katie, what's the deadline for that?
I can send that out to the board.
Send it, yeah, because they're booking fast, the hotels, so just so everyone stays on top of that. I have just 2 things that I definitely would like to share. One being with Dr. Berjak's putting out the district goals. We went through a strategic plan, and we're doing our board goals. I'm hoping we can put this in committee and add it to what Rich was doing, that we read our vision statement and our mission statement at every board meeting. And maybe it's not just the board president reads it, that it goes around the table and we read it. But I think we should be we saying it, speaking it, modeling it. So our vision statement is every student empowered for tomorrow. And our mission statement is the North Hunterdon-Voorhees Regional High School District empowers all students through innovative and personalized learning to achieve the full potential, embrace lifelong learning, and contribute responsibly for a changing world. And these were new, and this came as collaboration from the community, the administrators, and the board through the strategic plan. So, Rich, if you could add that to our, and Tara, that would be fantastic. I do. We should be sharing. We should be speaking it, using it, not just on the website. I also would have a statement. This is my statement. This is not necessarily on behalf of the board or the board's thoughts. As a school district dedicated to fostering thoughtful engagement and mutual respect, we recognize the importance of helping students navigate complex events with care and understanding. Recent developments have had a profound impact on many in our own community, our state, and our nation. This is a time that calls for steady, compassionate leadership. It is essential that we model respectful communication, especially when perspectives differ. We must also be mindful of the emotional impact on students who may feel underheard or overlooked. Quiet responses do not mean these moments pass without significance. Remaining true to our shared values means standing against intimidation in any form, encouraging constructive dialogue, and promoting an environment free from bias. These principles are not just part of our educational mission, they are vital to creating a safe and welcoming space for all. We're going to move on in this part of the meeting. I don't know, as most of you may know, Miss Christina Cagno submitted her resignation from the board. The board accepted that resignation last month at the August board meeting. So we immediately advertised vacancy on our district website and local papers, seeking interested candidates for the Tewksbury-Califon vacancy. We have two candidates who have submitted, Miss Andrea Stein and Miss Aurora Rodriguez. And forgive me, is it Pipeling?
Yes, you're right.
Oh, I'm excellent. We are going to move forward with the interview process. So I'd like to call Miss Andrea Stein first, and then we will have Miss Aurora come to the pulpit. And when you come to the pulpit, just a little bit about yourself, and I'm going to share. We will start out with a little bit about yourself, a few moments, share about yourself, and then we'll begin with 7 questions that were prepared by the NJSBA, that's our New Jersey School Boards Association, that guides boards of education. There will be no questions to the board. Afterward, you may join the audience while we interview the next candidate. After the process, when we do go into executive session, we will confer and we will return for nominations and a vote. Okay? So welcome, Andrea Stein.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for considering deeply open board seat. My name is Andrea Stein.
I'm honored to be here tonight to share why I believe I would be a strong candidate in addition to the North Hunterdon-Voorhees Board of Education. My husband and I have been proud residents of Tewksbury since 2007 and residents of Glen Gardner and Clinton Township before that. And our 3 children have attended our local schools. Our oldest, Andrew, graduated from the Environmental Sciences Academy here at Voorhees and is now studying education at Rutgers. Our daughter Julia graduated from Voorhees last year and is also at Rutgers, lucky us, and pursuing a degree in communications. And our youngest, Katie, is currently a sophomore at Voorhees where she participates in marching band and drama club. My family's experiences across sports, clubs, marching band, music, and drama have given us a deep connection to both Tewksbury and Voorhees and a strong commitment to supporting our public schools. Beyond being a parent, I've been actively involved in the Tewksbury Education Foundation, served on the boards of the Haytown Nursery School, the Education Foundation, the Tewksbury Women's Club, and most importantly, the Tewksbury Board of Education, where I'm currently at the end of my 2nd term. This work, I've served there as president and vice president as well as a board member, and this work has given me firsthand knowledge of how a board works and functions, and what its responsibilities begin and end, and how it can best partner with the administration to serve the students and the community. During my time on the board, I've reviewed multiple budgets, chaired the contract negotiation committees, helped lead the strategic planning process that has resulted in a 5-year strategic plan, and which in turn has led plans for us to have a referendum this November. You may have seen some signs and some communication around town about that. The referendum is there to help us address some long-term maintenance needs, which, as many of you probably know, a referendum is one of the best ways for us to do that, and also to help fund some strategic priorities that were pointed out during our strategic planning process with the community. So in doing all that, I bring experience listening carefully, weighing all sides, and making decisions that it's rooted what's best for the students and the community and not my personal interests. Professionally, my background includes project management and information systems, where I've led large teams working on development projects. I've worked with multiple stakeholder holders, all the way from the C-level down to developers and middle managers and users, all with different priorities to deliver a functioning end product at the end of the day. Currently, I work in sales and marketing, and the reason I was attracted to this position is because serving on the Tewksbury Board of Education has really been a wonderful experience for me. I feel that I've brought a lot to it, and I've enjoyed my work there. I actually considered running for re-election, but as I didn't have children in the district anymore, I thought it was time to allow new voices to join the board. So when this opportunity came up, I thought here's a chance to continue to do work that I love, where I do have a child who's still in the district, and I'm actively involved and participate in the community. One of my favorite things lately has been enjoying the Friday night lights at Voorhees for football with a marching band and the cheer, and then going to see a Rutgers football game the next day. In short, I feel that I really offer some perspective, experience, and proven leadership, and can really hit the ground running. I have attended the New Jersey School Board Association workshops for multiple years. I'm up to date on all of my training and education. So I think that I can come in and really give you what you need to, fill the position and move us forward.
There's a few questions.
Yep.
For you, if you don't mind. Why do you
Want to be a board member?
As I said, serving on the Tewksbury Board has been a real privilege. It's work that I've enjoyed. I've enjoyed the challenges that it's brought. It hasn't always been easy, but I really felt that it was contributing to the community. I've really felt a passion for the work of education. I'm a product of public schools on Long Island. My children have all attended the support schools here. We support higher public education in our family. So like I said, it was with regret that my term was ending, and I felt that I didn't want to run, and when I didn't have a child in the district, wanted to allow new voices. This opportunity came up, and I thought it was the perfect way for me to be able to continue to do that work.
What specific skills would you bring to the board?
As I mentioned, having served on a board before, I'm kind of well versed in how a board operates, what you can and can't do, what falls under your purview and doesn't. I am skilled in, listening, synthesizing information from the community, also large information that comes in your board folder, and helping to work through and make decisions. In addition to being a project manager, as I said, what's interesting about being project managers, you're not often responsible for doing the work. You have to manage all the people who either have to give you inputs or do the work or test the work. So, again, it's kind of getting everybody working towards deciding what are the important issues and what your priorities should be and what you should focus on.
Thank you. Can you please give specific examples of your ability in interpersonal relationships and teamwork?
Certainly. I mean, again, working as a project manager, everything was team-based. Very few of the people that I worked with actually, I wasn't their manager. They had no real incentive, or I didn't do the reviews. They didn't have to do things for me. I had to encourage them to do things for me because, we worked together. They respected me. And get them to work without having that kind of I'm your manager, you must do that. Lately, I've gotten into marketing and sales, and I work for a boutique clothing company where I'm talking to customers all day and convincing them, working with them on clothing and describing the brand and promoting the brand. So that has really, in a sense, up to my ability to have interpersonal and one-on-one conversations with people.
What do you see as the role of a school board member?
A school board member, our job is not to do the day-to-day administration of the schools. That's what we have administrators for. Our job is to listen and to help to set policy and to help, in terms, give some advice and our thoughts to the superintendent and the administrators as they make their decisions.
Thank you. Please describe your previous community or nonprofit experience.
Certainly, as I said, I started when we first moved into Hunterdon County. We were closer to the Clinton side, so I did some volunteer work with the Hunterdon Art Museum. Then once we moved to Tewksbury, I volunteered with the Education Foundation as a Girl Scout troop leader and Odyssey of the Mind leader. I worked, as I said, at the Education Foundation as their president and also as a co-chair of their fundraising event, the Barn Dance. In addition, I've been very involved with the Tewksbury Women's Club for a number of years, serving on their executive board. That's a community group that does a lot of, we do fundraising, we do community service events, we help run egg hunts, we do stockings for the troops. So it's a service organization. I really enjoy that aspect of it.
Thank you. What areas would you like to strengthen in our district, the North Hunterdon-Voorhees district?
So honestly, my children have had wonderful experiences in the district, so I don't come with any sort of personal agenda that says something needs to be fixed. So I think that's something that I would like to listen to the board members here in the community and say, what are you bringing? What do you think and see that needs to be fixed? And that's kind of, where I stand. As I said, we've had great experiences here, and so I wish that kind of experience for every student in the district.
And lastly, are you aware of the time, training commitments, and ethic law disclosures required for school board membership?
Absolutely. I've been teaching
Many years on those, and I regularly attend 2 meetings a month for the Tewksbury Education, for the Tewksbury Board of Ed, and other meetings as needed. So yes, I'm very well aware of the time commitment. It's always something that we've managed to make a priority in my family for me to be able to attend these meetings.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, at this time, we'd like to welcome our next candidate, Ms. Aurora Rodriguez Pipeling. I thought I said it wrong. It's correct. Okay.
Oh, thank you. And good evening, everyone. I've been a Tewksbury resident for 50 years. That's 50. And there's 4 generations of my family that have lived in our home, including my parents. My late husband and I raised 2 children who graduated from Voorhees. And today I'm fortunate to watch 6 grandchildren who come to my home on a regular basis and are growing up in my home as well. With deep roots in Tewksbury and more than 35 years of experience as a founder and CEO of a nonprofit educational organization, I believe I bring valuable experience and a good perspective to this board. The nonprofit I founded began in Hunterdon County, and through word of mouth referrals through the years, over 35 years, has grown to nearly 100 employees, and we serve about 1,000 students on a daily basis. I've honed proven skills in fiscal management, personnel oversight, and developing policies and procedures that respond to the emerging needs of students, their families, and their communities. Every day as a CEO has required me to champion my organization's mission, lead with enthusiasm, and build strong, effective teams. I also bring expertise as a member parliamentarian registered with the National Association of Parliamentarians. And I would be proud and honored to be a member of this board.
I have a few questions for you.
Sure.
Why do you want to be a board member?
I think, as I said, I have strong roots in Tewksbury for many years, and also my background of experience over 35 years in an educational nonprofit has served me well as far as my experience, my background, and my ability to do a good job.
What specific skills would you bring to the board? I know you just shared them, if you want to pick a few.
Yes. Well, as I had already said, but definitely because of my experience at my work as a nonprofit educational organization, the skills are certainly fiscal management, daily goal setting, personnel oversight, sorry if you can't hear me there, developing policies and procedures. And we have to make sure that our policies, procedures, our mission, and our goals are constantly changing to the emerging needs of families and our students so that they're not stagnant and that we prepare our students for the future.
Thank you. Can you give a few examples of your ability in interpersonal relationships and teamwork?
Interpersonal relationships and teamwork. I can think of a great one that was in my experience when I worked for AT&T as a district manager for data system support. One of my roles there was to work with multi-million-dollar companies. Two in particular was Delta Airlines and Coca-Cola. And my job there was to automate their processes, and that made a lot of the employees there, who were lifetime employees, very skeptical and scared about the possibility and the potential that their job might be eliminated. So those companies used to be considered cradle to grave companies, if some of you may understand and remember that type of philosophy. And the employees were very loyal to the company, though, and were very much involved with the integrity of quality of the product that their company set out. So in that role, I had to find a way to have these employees trust me, to be able to impart with the information that they've known for so many years, so that I could take that information and then relay it to the program developers in a way that the program developers would understand it, because the employees and the developers really didn't speak the same language, even though it was English, but the language was very, very different. So in order to do that, I had to form two separate teams, the employees and the programmers, but then work them together as one team with trust and respect, coming from both teams to me. And I have to say that that was an incredible experience to me, because it made me be one of the best listeners that I know in my entire life. I've really honed in my experience in being able to listen.
What do you see as the role of a school board member?
Kind of a perfect, one of the main roles of a school board member is to be a good listener. You must listen to all of the stakeholders, not only the community, the parents, the educators, certainly the students, and to be able to listen and to educate yourself. You may not know everything about everything, but the point is to become educated so that you can make a good, solid decision on what you're voting on and what is so incredibly important to the students of this district.
Thank you. Please describe your previous community or nonprofit experience, which you've already elaborated.
I've done that, however, can I add a few things to that? If I could take it from my resume that I already handed in. But besides my professional work as a founder and CEO of a nonprofit for over 35 years, I've served as a vice president of the Tewksbury Board of Education. I have served as vice president and acting president of the Hunterdon County Educational Services Commission here in Hunterdon County. The New Jersey School Age Coalition, I was president there. And the Women's Club of Tewksbury as past president, and currently I'm their recording secretary.
Thank you. What areas would you like to strengthen in our district?
Well, I did read your strategic plan on your website, and I couldn't agree more that the parts of the plan that I would support the entire plan, but certainly improving academic scores, academic learning opportunities, what I also think is co-curricular programs and also strengthening accountability and operations of the district. I saw that part of the strategic plan, and I think I could be very helpful in that because of my experience myself.
Thank you. Are you aware of the time, training commitments, and ethics, I'm sorry, because I know you are, both of you, and ethics law disclosures required for school board membership?
Sure. I do understand the commitment. I do understand that it's not just attending board meetings, but there is requirement for committees to be on committees and to attend those meetings and work with those committees as well. I understand that there's a disclosure statement for any type of conflict of interest potential. I understand that I have to go through criminal background checks as well as training and so forth.
We'd ask you to join the audience, and when we go to exec session, we will confer, and we will then come back to the floor, and we will have take a nomination and a vote. At this time, we'll now go into board goals. Everyone on the board had opportunity for the board goals. I asked for everyone's input. I received 11 board members' input. I didn't do anything to the input. I put it in the document, word for word, per board member. The only thing I did not do is name the board member. There's no need to do that. And I asked everyone to comment. I put together a document of suggested board goals, because they are not board goals until we accept them. So I asked for feedback. I did get feedback from Brian, and you know what? It was fantastic, because number 3, if you look at it, Brian noted we should just eliminate number 3, because it's a duplicate of already on Dr. Berjak's district goals. So does anyone?
Should we have to do it? You could do it.
I know.
I think you beat you to the punch on that one.
Does anyone disagree with that? I guess is the question.
I just had a question. It's a question.
Yes.
Anything else makes sense.
Yeah.
I just wonder if there is a role on the board goals to show that we're supporting the district in the work that's being done on community engagement and communication. It's a question for the group, I don't know. Or do we just eliminate it completely like you're suggesting?
Discussion.
Yeah,
Brian can tag into
I
that.
absolutely agree that we should, sorry, Beth.
Yeah.
I know. I absolutely, certainly I view that the board should absolutely support actually all the district goals in making them, be successful. And there is a piece of this that was like, it had a little bit about the board could engage, but it didn't necessarily say board members, but kind of people could get out and do community engagement more. Okay. So I think, yes, I'm not meaning to say actually what I just joked, that it's all on him.
Yeah.
Or the administration.
I mean, we
it just
could.
looked kind of redundant.
Well, we
and we couldn't
could
actually
leave
control
it,
it.
Brian.
I know we can't control it,
The
that's
other
right.
3 we can kind of control.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kim.
I'm sorry, that was everybody. I think there was several people touch base on, if you look at number 3 under the common suggestions, attend community events and increase public input. There was a few people tagged on about graduation, that we need to have the board present. So is that what you'd like to see?
Yeah, yes, I mean, I guess that was where I was going with it, was what is the board's side or the board's piece of that? Because there are certain things that the district won't do, and there's certain pieces that we won't do. Maybe we just go back to this one and flesh that out a little bit more.
I think that's a great idea. Does anyone disagree with that?
I think Beth is spot on.
There was a few people that was denoted that.
I was thinking that if we could maybe, what Beth had suggested is to kind of keep that reworded a little bit, more so to say what the board can do to help the district to achieve their goals. And we can word it in a way that we're not taking over the district goals, but as a board to try to support the administration to uphold those district goals.
Board's commitment.
board commitment.
Okay.
That was a good one.
There was also another suggestion that came in. As you remember, I sent in a reminder email. This went out on September 2nd, and I sent it back up to reminder to say, everybody's working, we're busy. I did get feedback on number 2, common suggestions. It says host retreats and team building sessions. So I had someone submit, host a retreat in July to do the district goals and board goals. So it would be another meeting, but there would be no action taken, and you could do both together. So that's just, I think it's extending on the host retreats. Okay, well, what are we hosting? What kind of retreats? I think we need to be specific. Any ideas on that?
Would that be in lieu of our normal July board meeting, or would that be in addition?
No, it would be in addition.
Would it be before or after? 'Cause then
That would
we
be the sitting board would make that decision. It's not something you would put in your goal, you're just you're listing the goal, and then you'll.
I know some boards try to do like workshop, like go, and since we're going, that's a lot of school boards will make that, everyone goes and we go together, and there's the learning opportunities, and also networking and, just working with other boards throughout the state. So that a lot of boards I know make workshop as their like retreat, like focus on getting the whole board participation to school boards.
So I think that's something you could, as a board moving forward, could decide to do. It's 12 people. When have we ever had 12 people?
It's hard, it's really
I don't
hard.
think there's more than 6 people that are here that have probably gone to school boards. It's hard, it's a 3-day, but we could list it as an example, but.
And are we, just remind me, are we allowed to, I thought
You can all
we
go.
can
Yeah,
all
school boards
meet,
is
I know
different. Yeah,
school
we're not a
boards,
quorum.
but would we be a quorum if we did an off-site retreat and discuss board goals? Okay, I just wanted to, I
No.
wasn't sure about that, okay.
Nope.
Sorry, Dan.
What was the key that you said, and not take action?
Not take action.
Okay.
Mhm.
Not take action.
There was another one, so under common suggestions, everyone, it says shift to a committee of the whole model.
My favorite bullet.
There was a reoccurrence. The question is, it hasn't been decided. So, I don't know if you want to list that, if we want to list that as our board goal, or just having open-ended discussions as to our structure.
I think shifting to a committee as a whole is a difficult one to make. You just mentioned the time commitment and the amount of responsibility that it takes to be on the board, and having 12 professionals along with the other people at this table, along with the public, to sit in a meeting for 5 hours, and that's minimally 5 hours. If we give each committee an hour to speak, is unreasonable to ask of anyone.
Okay, I just want to interject. We're having a discussion.
No, I'm just saying,
No, I know,
I'm
this is great, Jessica, it was in committee. The board, our function, we drive policy.
Right.
The board can go in and look at our policies and bylaws, and we can put time limits on those if you go to a committee as a whole. What you're spending on each committee, and there's ways to, well, let's all be open,
No,
okay?
I'm always open.
We're creatures of habit, right? All of us, what's comfortable. We've done this, and I agree, I've done this both ways too, a long time. And it's creatures of habit, you get comfortable, but sometimes you gotta get uncomfortable to be comfortable. And if we get out of our skin and try something, and who's to say, and I'm not saying nay or yay, I'm trying to bring up some points to you. that you can try this and you can always go back.
You can try anything once and go back to it.
Absolutely.
However, when you're asking 12 professionals to dedicate 5 to 6 to 8 hours in a single evening without being delirious after being at work all day and dealing with their families all day, and instead of asking for a commitment of 2 hours a week or 2 hours once a month, with plus your pre-work and anything else that you're doing for your committee, and then to sit there and turn around, ask us to sit through a board meeting, which we know at times has taken till 1 o'clock in the morning, and then start a committee meeting at 7 o'clock at night and have it run minimally for 5 hours, we're automatically here until midnight. And I can't accept that as an individual, or as, I can't support that for any family member or professional sitting at this table. I just think it's too much to ask of an individual when they're already giving their time in other ways to the board.
I hear you.
Can I ask a question? Can I just, quick question?
Sure.
So I'm just trying to understand what we're doing today. So we're.
No, we're taking, this is, it's listed as shift to a committee of the whole model. That was I took these right from your documents. So I want to know, do we want that listed on there as that? Because that's saying that you're going to that model.
It's saying something to discuss in the
I think that's what I'm saying.
So we don't really have to discuss it. Right.
And I don't know that it needs to be on there, is what I'm saying.
See, I think it's precisely the point. The point is that we're having this discussion in a public session. When we work in silos in committees, it's not transparent to the community. Let's put that out there. The way in which the committees are organized and how long they're going to be is up to the board. Not to mention, for those of us on the board that are doing their due diligence, that are watching every single video, clock the hours to that, clock the hours to how much you read and do and go through the folders, and you'll come out to about the same if you are doing your due diligence. All I'm saying is, I think just to say it won't work and we can't try it, I think it could set up, and all I'm saying is, if you try it both ways, for those of us that have lived it both ways, we're just saying it, it's another way. I happen to believe that we all benefit from 12 perspectives. That's the frame of mind I come from. When I'm watching a committee meeting with, if 3 people show up or whatever that is, you're offering up to the rest of the board based on 3 perspectives, and it limits the other perspectives from interacting. So, and I happen to believe philosophically that I want to be transparent to my constituents, not to mention all the constituencies that I'm serving in this seat. So that's why I throw it out there. And all I'm saying is that we don't have to live it forever, but it's worth a try in the spirit of full transparency to our community.
Let me ask a question.
Well, we're not deciding it tonight.
No,
There's obviously board members that want to consider it, so why can't we just?
It seems like a consensus to leave it as exploratory, leave it on there, that you should keep having the discussion. And this can be in committee and discuss it, and every committee could have a discussion.
In every committee?
Listen,
Put it in every committee.
it's not the
Because
worst
every
case scenario to
committee
put it in
has-
every committee, because we're all there. And then the chair can report on that, and then we can have, again, that discussion. Listen, moving forward, every year you can choose a process, an infrastructure, and your board, and your executive board. That's, we've been doing this, and I know Dr. Burjaks has done it, board as the whole as well.
Wait, can I ask a question? Are we setting these goals for now, or are we setting these goals for January?
No, these are our goals right now.
These are
Okay,
goals. Did we vote on these goals?
We have not.
We talked about them, but we didn't
Jessica,
vote on these goals.
No, we have not voted on these goals.
Okay, so whose goals, what are we?
These are, I'm discussing, again, I'm giving a format and opportunity, because I shared this with the board on September 2nd, I again waited for everyone to come in, and one person did not respond. And everyone else responded. I sent out another email asking, can you please, if there's anyone else, just in case you missed it, you're working, please respond. I had two people. Brian was great, his was great, but, so I did not want to make that decision to move ahead and say, oh, no one responded to me, these are our goals. We're in public, here we are, here they are, let's discuss them, we'll edit them, and then we can bring them back to the table next month, and they can be, approval, and we're good to go, and they'll be posted on the website.
So these goals will become effective January 1st?
No, they're effective now. These are goals, they're 25, 26. We
Okay.
did not have our goals because the strategic plan was happening. We wanted to roll out, it's a process. The district goals, board goals are formulate from the strategic plan. So we waited. We didn't approve the strategic plan until last month.
Right.
So here we are.
I don't have a problem with anything on this, except for the one.
Except for that.
item. That's it. Everything else, I have no comment on.
Do you
and
have a
no
specific language that you'd like to, it would in that bullet?
And honestly, Kim, to be quite honest with you, my opinion matters for today. You know I'm not gonna be on the board in January. So I don't wanna speak and I want to express my opinion as to why I think we shouldn't do it. But other than that, if the board decides as a board to move forward with it, then so be it. But as a professional who works a job, has a family, and does other community work outside of this board, and has other obligations for activities at night, running around, work obligations, and when we all do, if we're all going in and reviewing the tapes, we do that in our personal time when it's not a scheduled 6-hour meeting. That pre-work is all done on our own, on our personal time, how we can fit it in.
I understand.
I find it's just a lot to ask. of
I
an
understand,
individual.
we
No,
understand,
that's
and
my opinion.
everybody has a right to disagree, right? We agree to disagree. And we bring 12 varied, opinions and experiences. I will leave this then as exploratory and moving forward.
I would like it to say shift.
I'm gonna put it in the docket, the corrections, and then we'll bring it to the table and majority. No, they're not being voted on tonight because was there, the only other one was, no, that was it, 3. On 1, review strategic plan pillars at each meeting. If Dr. Burjax has to do that at each meeting, I think he's going to. I think.
I'll do whatever you need.
I think can we accept the quarterly, or do you want to do it?
It seems to me that you could rotate through, right? There's 6 pillars, you could. Oh, you
Or
want
one.
two,
One each meeting?
two, or something like that?
Okay, 1 each meeting?
12 meetings or 6.
Okay.
We can do 2 per meeting.
1 pillar or 2 pillars?
So if there's 6 pillars and there's 12
That's a lot.
meetings, do 2.
That's only.
Yeah, there's 5 pillars.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes if July, if we don't do a retreat, or December could possibly be
How
canceled,
about
then
we
we do
just
1 pillar per
1 to 2
month.
pillars?
How about I come up with a schedule and I'll share it with all of you?
There you go.
That's great.
Right back on you. Good idea.
But that's good, because that ties into your evaluation, so. And that was it, oh no, there was a question to move, and again, I don't think these necessarily, someone had asked, they're not in order of importance. But if the board members here feel strongly, we need to have one front and center, I mean, do we feel that?
What did you talk about? One front and center?
The order that they're in right now is not necessarily, there's a lack order for it, they're all important. Okay, I just want to make that clear. And we're good with taking out 3, all of 3 except for those attending the community events participation, I'll do something like that? Okay.
I thought it was, you had said, or I'd heard you say, Kim, it was kind of like spin it towards supporting the administration's efforts to do this.
Yep. Well, and that is graduation, all the activities.
Unsung heroes.
Unsung heroes, yes, absolutely. There's a lot of ways we can do that. Okay, so I will make those edits. I will send it out to the board. If you can take a look at those, that would be fantastic. Any other questions on the board goals?
To clarify, so you're going to, the intent is to put them on the board, outside the agenda for next meeting to vote up or down?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they'll post them on the website. Will be approved. Boom. Did you have a comment?
I was gonna say that, like, if before the next board meeting, all the board members want to send in their comments and thoughts and suggestions, and then maybe you can send it out to the board prior to us coming to the table,
Yep.
so we can make the adjustments.
I can do that, so we can approve it, yes. I'd like to get them done for next
So that
month.
way we've seen them before, then we can vote on them.
That is fantastic. Okay, at this time, we'll have public comment. During this portion of the meeting, the public is invited to address the Board of Education with comments. You are requested to sign the register provided and to state your name, municipality of residence, group affiliation if applicable, and direct your comments to the school board president. While all comments will be considered by the Board of Education and a response may be forthcoming if and when appropriate, individual school board members may not respond to speakers at the time of their appearance. The public comment period will be a maximum of 30 minutes in length unless there are unusual circumstances. You will be allocated 3 minutes to speak, and no one will be permitted to speak more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. Please keep your comments respectful and non-defamatory and maintain the level of decorum appropriate for a public meeting where students may be present and in the audience. And the board.
My name is Megan Bessett. I am a resident and lifetime house property owner of Highbridge. I am currently the site director for Highbridge Elementary School's Work Family Connection. I am an employee of Aurora. I just wanted to speak on her behalf on what a fantastic employer she is and how she leads with integrity. She is wonderful with teams. Personal experience, I've worked with her for almost 4 years now, and by no means would I ever imagine working side by side with the CEO of the company, a non-for-profit that I was working for, honestly. And she is more than willing to get down in the trenches with you, help you figure out anything, even if it's small. She is dedicated to education, she's passionate about it, she's dedicated to her community, and she's just somebody I look up to very much. And I just wanted to state that for you guys and let you know that you would be gaining a huge attribute to your board by taking her on. Thank you.
My name is Connie Wygera, and I live at 27 Meadow Lane in Tewksbury Township. I am not speaking as a sitting board member of Tewksbury Township. I am speaking as a resident of 30 years of Tewksbury, and I have to say that Rory, or Aurora, as you know, it has been not only an inspiration and an incredible person in the educational field, but when because we're a member of clubs together, when I've had questions about different things or within the community or whatever, she's always there with integrity, with knowledge, and a helping hand. This board would do well to welcome Rory Pipeling into your group. Thank you very much. And I have to sign this, right? Okay. Have a good evening.
I apologize for coming in on gym clothes. My name is Karen Gove. I'm from Highbridge. I'm speaking as a resident, taxpayer, constituent, and not as a school board member. I wanted to talk about your suggested goal of a committee of the whole. It doesn't have to be a goal. It can be something that you just do. Highbridge did it, and I love it. It's wonderful. When I hear your committee report, sometimes it seems that the committees are diving into things that are more administrative as opposed to governance, and that when things are recommended on the agenda, it is obvious that there's a lot of distrust among the board. As you stated, you're only getting 3 people's perspectives and not 12 people's perspectives. It's not going to take 20 hours a week, Jessica. It's the work meeting is a work meeting and everything's discussed out in the open, and then the voting meeting, the action meeting is quick, because you've already discussed it and it just gets voted on. It can help to rein in the board to focus on true governance items and can promote discussion among all board members. Also a suggestion about community engagement and communication. Many boards and town councils have 2 public comment sections, one at the beginning of the meeting for agenda topics only, so it usually goes quick, and one at the end for other topics. So that's something you might want to think about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Hunterdon-Voorhees, Tewksbury Township. I'm here as my own volition, not any committee or other. I just want to echo what's been said about Rory Pipeline. The time that Rory and I had a chance to work together on different committees and that, her experience there was exemplary. I think you would do really well with having her as a member of your board, and I would suggest you consider that. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam President and the board. My name is Trish Mahoney, and I'm a Tewksbury resident for about 20 years. I've put 4 children through the school system, 31 through 17 years of age. I've been at Voorhees since 2008, and I'm finally going to graduate this year with the last child. So I can appreciate all of you sitting here because I've listened to many different boards over the years for both Tewksbury as well as Voorhees. I'm very active in the community. I'm a past president of the Women's Club of Tewksbury Township. I co-founded the Tewksbury Tree and Menorah Lighting. I've done different things in town. But I've known Rory Pipeling for 15 years. And every time I'm at something, it could be Wreaths Across America, laying wreaths at the Tewksbury cemeteries. It could be supporting something on a county level, like National Alliance for Mental Illness or Safe in Hunterdon. Local, county, even statewide projects where there's different groups that collect stockings at Christmas time to send to soldiers overseas. Rory is active. She has her ear to the community, and all these things that I'm at, I see Rory at. What I want to just stress that she is really quite a catch if she was on this board. She is a dynamo. Her memory also fails her. She left a few things out about her resume and her bio. She mentioned for interpersonal skills, to answer your question, she had answered a position that she had, one of her many positions at AT&T, but she failed to mention to the board that she broke the glass ceiling, and she was the first female vice president of AT&T in Basking Ridge. That is impressive. She went on from there to form her own company, which she spoke about, her nonprofit with 100 employees that she runs. That specifically started because she wanted to meet the needs of mothers who didn't know what to do with their children after school, and she formed a company that would fulfill those needs. At one time, I know she was in the Tewksbury school system. I know there's different groups that have submitted bids for that, and it's a complicated process, but Rory meets the needs of many different school districts providing aftercare. So Rory not only knows the school system, understands what parents want from a school system, but she's also, she has her ear to the community, her ear to the ground. She would be a huge asset to this board. And that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you.
Do we have any further public comment?
Hi, my name is Layla Zengel. I am not from Tewksbury, but I still got to hear your interviews of both candidates. I did not realize that it was the role of the audience to get up and tell you what we thought. So I did just want to make note. You obviously have a tough decision in front of you guys tonight. Obviously, you have two quality individuals that sit before you. But I do want to say that I was incredibly struck by Andrea Stein's experience already in the school board setting. And I just think from my experience observing and living with school board members that there is just so much to be said of understanding the role of a school board member and the way that things work and the way that you operate. And I think that her experience and her understanding of the way the system works should not be discredited. So that's all I wanted to share.
Yeah. Do we have any further comments, public comments? Going once, going twice, anyone else to the podium? Okay, thank you. Thank you all for your comments. Can I have a motion and a second? Oh, okay. A motion and a second to adopt Resolution 093025-1 for an executive session to discuss matters reflected in the attached resolution. The board expects to be in executive session for approximately a half hour, plus or minus, and upon return to public session, action will be taken. All in favor? Aye. Oh, sorry.
So moved. Second.
Second. Thanks, Katie. All in favor? Aye. Need a motion and second to reconvene public session?
So moved. Second. I knew, I didn't have to look at you, I knew it was coming.
Okay, that was Beth and Nicole. All in favor? Aye. At this time, we would like to take the agenda out of order. So I would like to, as we would like to take the vote for the board, to fill the board vacancy, so we don't make anyone wait any longer than they have to. So I'd like to move that. Can I have a motion on the floor, just?
So moved.
Second.
Well,
18.3.
yes,
We're gonna move to vote on 18.3 right now.
we're taking it out of order, correct?
And that was Tara and Beth?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So first of all, I'd like, oh, sorry. A roll call? All in favor? All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. First of all, we would like to thank the candidates. We would like to thank Andrea Stein and Aurora Pipeline for coming out, for submitting and supporting your community. You ladies are fantastic. Like, this was amazing to have two candidates come out and just put it all out there, and we were so impressed. But ultimately, one person will fill the vacancy. But I hope the other person comes and supports the board and attends, and there's other ways to facilitate that. Very appreciative. So at this time, we are going to take 18.3. We are going to take a vote to appoint a candidate for the California Borough Tewksbury Township Board vacancy through the expiration of the current term on December 31st, 2026. Can we start with Ms. Stein?
Point of order, does this allow,
Well, are we making a motion to vote on
Yeah,
Ms. Stein's nomination?
and then
Like,
we
is somebody nominating her?
Do you want them to make the motion
Yeah,
for the
someone needs to
nomination?
nominate.
Okay, we need a motion for a nomination.
I'll make the motion to take the vote.
second? In terms of procedure, do we?
No, that's what I was asking Katie.
You want to,
And then I'll
you want
take
to
a roll
vote for
call.
each
Yeah.
person to go, so you can basically vote yes for two people?
No.
No, you can only vote for
Just like
for
when we
one.
vote
Just
for,
like when you vote
open
for
on the, at the beginning of the year.
officers.
That's right.
The first one to get a majority.
First
So
one
right
to
now-
get a majority.
Right, so we're taking a vote for Ms. Stein at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Chapman?
Yes.
Dr. Deeney?
Yes.
Ms. Gallo?
No.
Ms. Hitz?
Yes.
Ms. Cotran?
Yes.
Mr. Lordy?
No.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Ms. Reyes?
No.
Mr. Spanton?
Yes.
Ms. Beato?
Yes.
And Ms. Lino?
No.
Just double check her over here. I believe a quorum tonight was 5.6. I do have 6.5. Yep, 6.5 out of 11.2, so motion carries.
Okay. So do we need to statutory go through and do the second roll call? No, okay. Okay, at this, we'd like to congratulate Ms. Andrea Stein to the Board of Education. We welcome you. At this, and Andrea, at this time, Katie will reach out to you, our BA, and go through the process, your next steps. And at next month's board meeting, we will have the swearing in. Congratulations. And to Ms. Pipeline, it was fantastic meeting you, and I think you are just stupendous, and you have great things. I see other great things. You have more to accomplish. So thank you and hope to see you again. And thank you for being patient. We just had a few, we condensed, just so everyone knows, we condensed the executive session, so we're not gonna have a second executive session, we were already there. So it wasn't all, although we enjoyed meeting you.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Thank you so much. At this time, we'd like to go on to curriculum, instruction, and technology. I need a motion and a second to approve items 10.1 through 10.4. Where?
Do we have to do the minutes?
The report first.
You want to do the report out first?
Yeah.
Number 10.
Number 10 is committee report.
I'm sorry.
It's just
Yeah,
missing.
it's the
There it
committee
is.
report.
It's there. I can't see it, didn't see it. I'm sorry. Yes, you're correct. Curriculum, instruction, and technology, Brendan, committee report.
Yes, and I apologize, my voice is, I'm getting the first scratchy throat of the season, so I'll keep it a little bit brief. We met on the 24th, everybody was in attendance. The first set of items was the attendance report with the note that we're still awaiting that first full month of data. Our home instruction listings, our out-of-district placements, talking about the students that we still send to Central regarding the multi-language learners there, but also the students that we're receiving from our various sending districts into our specialized programs, which obviously allow us to keep those students in district while providing for the best possible and least restrictive setting for them in our campus. We also had an overview of the Mind of the Athlete leadership presentations and a summation of the Title III consortium with Reddington, which has been a long-standing consortium. Rich, what are the specifics of the items that consortium deals in?
Professional development?
Is it PD? Or
It's supplies for multilingual learning.
it's supply, okay. The committee supported approval of all of those items. The next item of discussion was the new state testing. Rich Brome provided an update regarding the field test that's going to be administered in a couple of weeks. If you recall, we shifted from the NJ SLA, NJ GPA, or at least we're in the process of transitioning to new adaptive versions of those tests that will be administered officially in the spring, in March and in May. But because it is a new test, they need to field test the items that they would potentially use or vet for future validity. So we're required to have our students sit for that field test. The dates are set. We do not get data back because this is the state validating their own items or the company validating their own items. We don't get performance data on this. All of that would follow when the students sit for the actual tests in the spring. This is really for calibration purposes only. There was a little bit of a discussion of the attendance policy update because the data is part of this committee, we get the chronic absence data to track with the intention of being able to compare that to historical patterns to see if the changes to the attendance policy, at what point is it potentially having an impact. And because this was an action in response to the state's requirement of us addressing chronic absenteeism, we'll continue to keep an eye on that and see if that policy change is having an impact. We had a little bit of a discussion of the strategic curriculum plan, but really just that at this committee, there would be an ongoing space for conversation or updates regarding the strategic curriculum plan, specifically the Future Ready Learning kind of framework that we're hoping to develop, the career pathways that we're offering students, as well as the well-being and engagement, feedback and information that we get from students. And then there was a presentation by Rich regarding special ed. That presentation is linked in the agenda. I encourage everyone to look at it. It's very impressive in terms of everything from our articulation strategy as students rise up through the elementaries and middles and come into our building, and an overview of all the different levels of services and programs that we provide. Very, very well documented, very well detailed, and a very impressive array of programs and services. So that was it. The committee supports the approval of all items. Any questions or discussion?
Any comments? Okay. Now can I have a motion and a second to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Tara and Dan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
Yeah, I vote no on 10.3, but yes on the others.
Got that, Kim? Okay, moving on to the Policy and School Security Committee report.
All right, so the Policy and Security School Committee met on September 22nd. All were present, I should say. We had a few agenda items. Agenda item 1 was review attendance policy 513 and regulation 513. Rich Burjax provided an overview of a new attendance policy and regulation. The biggest changes were no longer accepting parent or doctor's notes as locally excused absences. This was done to align with the state, and what the state accepts as unexcused absence. In order to compensate for that, we increased the amount of unexcused absences before credit is lost in a class from 12 to 16. Any student that has a chronic illness or can just reason for absence due, Student that has a chronic illness or can show just reason for absences due to illness will be reviewed by the principal, and exceptions will be made when appropriate so that students with legitimate illnesses will not be penalized. If a parent is still not happy with the outcome, there is an attendance appeal committee that will convene to review the information and make a final determination. In addition, Mr. Scarsa had sent another letter to the community, kind of outlining the changes and what was, just kind of answering some of the questions that some of the parents and community and staff had. The committee decided to continue implementing the current policy, but frequent updates will be provided by the superintendent to ensure that the policy is accomplishing the intended outcomes and that the students are not being unjustly penalized through the implementation. So it will continue to be reviewed by the OE. Agenda item 2 was a regulation 1330 revision. This regulation was revised based on current salaries and now also included applicable employment tax shouldered by the district. The hourly rates were updated and some language was changed related to the minimum wage and employment tax addition. The language used was improved based on feedback from the committee and is reflected in the regulation. The regulation does not require formal board approval, so language will be changed after the board meeting unless there are any concerns. Action items is just change language after the BOE meeting. And agenda 3, we did discuss committee as a whole. We didn't have much time to discuss this topic, but we did start the discussion of what this change would look like in the current structure. Committee members share their experience with this model and others ask questions for clarification as how the process would work, and we will continue discussing going forward. And there's no action on that at this time. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Nicole.
Sure.
Moving on to Finance, Facilities, and Transportation Committee report, Dan?
Yes, so we met this last week and everyone was in attendance. There were a few discussion items. These are items that are for discussion that we are not acting on, but were discussed at the meeting and will continue to be discussed as we move forward. One of them was we had a guest speaker came in to talk about the social media litigation. He gave us an overview of the potential for us to join in that litigation. At the conclusion of that conversation, it was discussed that we needed more information and wanted to review more of the documents. Also wanted the rest of the board to have an opportunity to review those documents. So I believe they're on the drive now. So we asked that the rest of the board look at those documents, review them. Have any questions or comments over the next month before the next FFT meeting? If you could provide your comments, your opinions about that, and we can discuss it at the next meeting. I'll move over. The second discussion item was a general discussion about extraordinary aid, and it was, Katie gave us kind of a little, it was a 5-year look back to kind of discuss how she comes up with how she budgets for extraordinary aid, and then what also she pointed out was the difficulty in doing that, because it, as you can see, as we looked at it through the 5 years, it changes dramatically from year to year, and it's coming down quite a bit. So she's very conservative with that, so that we're not, we don't end up going over. So she ends up being conservative with her numbers. But it was just so the rest of the board can understand where she's getting those numbers from. We had a discussion about senior parking. Rich Lordy had asked about the senior parking fees, and so we had a discussion about that. And Rich Burjack said he would come back with further analysis and options going into the next year, other potential options we could do for parking, and basically just that we think it's something that we need to discuss further going on. Beth had brought up an issue with, she was concerned about the traffic and the at arrival and dismissal, the drop-off, back up onto 31. That was brought to Rich. Rich actually had gone to the SRO to discuss it with them. This will be an ongoing discussion to figure out kind of long-term, but a long-term solution to the problem. In the short term, though, there was discussion about lengthening the route that the parents go through the parking lot to kind of pull some of the cars off of Route 31, but it's probably a longer discussion to figure out how to manage the amount of cars coming in and out.
You'll be taking a tour of the school before they
Yes,
arrive at the drop-off point. You'll be going out you'll be coming up this way around the bend, and then you'll circle around through that little secret area that no one knows. And then you'll find your way to the front of the school. It is though, I know, I've been in that school line from,
We did
for
denote also
drop-off.
about,
It is, and it gets really long.
No, remember about just, Rich was gonna check about, making sure that students aren't walking out onto 31 to get to the car.
Oh, are kids abandoning and jumping ship on 31 and walking into school from there?
It's the other way. It's happening at dismissal.
Oh, so the parents are saying, I'm down in the line, come meet me.
It's a combination of the two, and versus drop off where every car has people that are getting dropped off. When you've got people coming in, their kid may not be up there, so they're taking up a spot, and so it could be 20, 30 minutes before a car actually gets to the front of the building, and the kids are just walking down to their parents' cars on 31, which is a liability.
That makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Dr. Cottrell was aware of that, and he said he's going to have somebody staffing it out there to make sure.
Okay. They had some other ideas, and I'll propose it back to the FFT committee.
Send it to Dan.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Moving on to the agenda items, let me jump to the agenda, sorry. So the first item is a wellness grant, and this is a grant that's used for, we accept it every year, it's used for programs like nutrition, things like that. It's all good stuff. The extraordinary aid we approved last meeting. There was a small change from the state. It went up a small amount of money, a little over $1,000, I think it was. So we are having to accept the revised number again. 12.3 and 12.4 are the contracts for the SROs and the Class 3 officers. 12.5 are change orders for the current construction projects. The D&E window project, you'll see it says use of allowance, and that basically what we're doing is using money that's already embedded in the contract to get additional doors and hardware done. So basically, the project went well, and there was money still in the contract, and we could use it to get 2 doors that we wanted to get done. So that was a bonus and a good thing. And then the roofing project, there was basically the closing out of the project, so this is the balance coming back to us. So there was a $30,000 balance, and that comes back to the district. The rest of the line items are all standard monthlies. There was a couple other. Just a report out that the erosion project, someone had asked when that's happening. Remember, there was an issue with erosion in the back parking lot at North. That's supposed to be starting in October. Should only take about a month, I think you said, and there's no impact to parking or traffic. They'll be relegated to that area where the erosion is happening, so it shouldn't impact anyone. Or the new long lines of cars coming through the parking lot. Any question?
Question on 12.8. Line item 0567 and 0568. I'm wondering why it looks like the same event but a different cost.
It might be, I'm trying to find out, but it could be travel.
It's 118 versus 105.
Yeah, it's I guess, a writing symposium.
It's 2 different people.
Right,
Yeah,
but the price, wouldn't
It's
the
the
price
same
of the
event?
symposium be the same?
It would, but their mileage reimbursement would change depending on where they're traveling.
They're traveling
So
from different travel
then,
distance.
there's no travel then for the NJCHE annual?
Some of these are online webinars.
Okay. Like virtual?
Could be virtual. It depends on, again, I don't have the information in front of me, but some
You
of
see
them
what I'm
could be
saying? It's
virtual.
hard
Yeah.
to see
So-
the difference there.
Right.
There's travel or not.
And even if it's free and there is no travel cost, it still has to be approved as a travel expense because of the
No,
accountability.
I'm not questioning that, I just wondered why it was different for the same thing, but it's travel, you're saying?
It's mileage.
Or, right.
Mileage is the differences between the 2 that are, the same event. The ones that are 0 cost are typically either online or the vendor has waived all fees. That could be the case.
So not a question, it's just, I'm on the FFT and I want to elaborate a little bit about the social media litigation. I'll speak for myself. My impression is that our committee felt it was a little over our heads. It was like that, could we decide or even recommend to the board, yes, we want to be part of this litigation, or no, we don't. So we said, we'll look at it, we'll ask the board, the rest of the board to look at the documents, but I don't think this is an open-ended question. I mean, the window will close.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe even without reading, it's a lot of information if you want to read the whole thing. It's like 500 or something, or 300 pages or something like that. Maybe I would like to sponsor some discussion on the board. Like, is this something we want to get behind?
Well, then I think I'd like to just offer, if we're gonna have a discussion about it, just offer up what kind of the general explanation of what they were talking about. I'm doing it from memory. But what he was saying was that this is something that's already underway, that the litigants are already in place and so we would just be joining
Class action?
the class, yes. And so the question is, so we wouldn't be front and center, we wouldn't be named, like we wouldn't be the actual ones that were.
Right, there's a core group that was formed, some months ago, and the court decided, okay, you circle of districts, you're the core group.
You represent everyone else.
Yeah, and then everyone else kind of.
What is the
benefits
litigation for?
The
Like-
idea is to
Social
hold
media.
the major social media accounts, Facebook, Snapchat, I don't know, Instagram, TikTok.
Why don't can we ask our board secretary to elaborate? Because Katie did a good job. She was the one who found it. Let's have Katie. Katie, do you mind sharing what you shared in committee,
I
what
can
it,
share something briefly, but again, if you want to watch the FFT video,
yeah.
that's really where
Yeah,
you
maybe
find
that's
all
what we
of
should
the
do.
information, right?
Yeah,
I
it was
would
really good.
paraphrase, but I think he did an excellent job in his 10-minute spiel. So it's really, it's not that it's a class action suit. We would have separate litigation for our district against the 4 major social media companies, Google, Meta, YouTube. And it's all about the algorithms and how they're damaging kids, right? There's districts that are experiencing heavy costs in certain areas to deal with the mental health challenges that students are facing, which we are absolutely one of them. Is it directly correlated to what they're pointing to in this litigation? Of course, that gets hard to pinpoint, right? But districts have seen an increase in those costs over time. So this is a way that districts can go after those companies that are damaging kids in several ways, which is some of it being the algorithms that they use, some of it's the way they're targeting kids, some of it's the advertisements that they give them after they've taken a photo of themselves, maybe portraying them in a way that, you know, could be damaging to their mental health. So again, I think he does a better job of explaining it than I do. But
That was a good example. When he gave that example, that was.
you know, the example was if somebody takes a selfie on their cell phone and deletes it, obviously the company notices that they don't feel good about themselves. Well, what do? Is they give them an ad for face cream or something that, you know, that they can sell them to just reinforce that they don't feel good about themselves. And that's not okay. So we would be taking a stand, so it's up to you as the board to take that stand or not. But he did not express any negative aspect to this, because we don't lose money, we don't pay for the legal fees unless, you know, unless we win. So if there's money to be made, they will make a portion of it, but so will we. So.
But we would have to, sorry if I could just add though,
Sure.
we would have to quantify what our financial damage is. And
That is a
how
part of it.
are we able to actually attribute the mental health services that are being provided, whether to the school district or through our external provider? Are we able to quantify what that is? Because you have to make it very specific to the social media side of it. That's how these work. Because, I mean, Facebook and Meta, where they're not gonna just say like, oh yes, we've been doing that and just hand this money. They're gonna want us to be able to show the financials that are tied
Yes and
to
no,
it.
I think their aim is to end in settlement.
Of
It's
course.
not to get to trial.
No, I know, but you'd still have to,
I
provide
don't
it.
disagree. So
And-
yes, they want information, yes,
Yeah.
we can give that to them, but can I precisely pinpoint every single student that's been affected exactly? No.
No, and again, whatever that amount ends up being, the lawyers will take a fairly large percentage. They typically take about a third when it's
For us
not
to win, they
contingency.
need to win as well.
Of course.
Yep.
And have they seen any verdicts on these or settlements come out of the case yet?
Not out of this case as of yet. Again, the bellwether cases have
Right.
not,
Haven't
you know,
gone
haven't
anywhere,
gone
right.
anywhere yet.
Yeah.
What's
So-
the deadline for
There is
participation?
not a deadline yet, but they said it is moving through the court, and again, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know the exact terminology, but they did think this could, in the next few months, start to be seen, which would then, they would probably cut off the districts that
Okay.
could then.
So we have a little bit of time.
Not much.
I
though.
don't,
He did-
and I
he did
don't want to
that we
say
needed
yes or
to
no,
act
because I
fairly-
don't know.
yeah.
It could change from one day to the next.
And sorry, just one follow-up question. And what kind of administrative work would need to be done by the district in order to provide what
It
has
would
to be
take some work in the
provided?
business office to gather some data, but that was something that I've already offered, so.
But they also said that they would ask
They
the
come in and
questions
do
and you're
discovery.
gonna
Discovery.
provide the
Yes.
information.
I
It's a
need
lot
to
of
provide
work.
the information.
It's not like you're creating,
No.
we're not trying to.
No,
They would,
no.
they would like come up with the.
Right,
Yeah.
right. They've already given me kind of a couple fact sheets that we would have to complete.
I have just one question too on the, if we're giving them the data, if it's private student information regarding mental health.
No, it's like generic.
Generic, okay.
I mean, just, you know, my 2 cents, and I mean, this is kind of what I do for a living, deal with class actions, deal with bringing, you know, these types of cases against major companies. And it's a lot of work on the side of the plaintiff. And so I guess my question to the board is, do we want first of all, I don't know if we can quantify the amounts, and is it enough to support the work that we're gonna ask the BA and then the schools and the service providers to do for us? And, you know, ultimately, what if we don't get very much out of it, right? So I mean, we've got a lot of things going on in the district. Is this gonna be the best use of time if we don't know what the verdicts are gonna be? So I just ask everybody to kind of think about that as well.
Well, if everybody could send me their questions or comments, and we'll discuss it at the next FFT. Thank you.
So, you make a motion to separate 12.3 into 12.3A and B to cover the school resource officer and the class 3 special law enforcement contracts, and then do the same thing with 12.4.
So moved.
So we need a second?
I think you moved.
No, you moved it. Sarah's the second.
Okay.
So we need to have a vote.
We vote, voice vote, you would agree?
Roll
Voice
call.
vote?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do voice vote.
Okay. All in favor?
Yes.
Any nays or abstentions?
Are these nays or abstentions?
Nays.
Nays. Okay. So I have Brian,
This is what, 12,
Jeff, Dan.
oh, yeah.
The motion is still carried.
So do we want to cover, do you want to move on all the other agenda items, or do we want to now make the motions relating to the two?
I think she's just tallying up to see if that
She's
motion.
tallying first.
Yes, it carries.
Oh, carries.
Okay.
No, Katie, in your opinion, should we just take all now 12.1 through 12.10 and just noting that 12.3 will have an A, B, 12.4 will be A and B? How should we handle that? Is that
If
fine?
you'd like to call for the motion for 12.1 through 12.10, noting that 12.3 is A and B and 12.4 is A and B.
Okay. Can I have a motion and a second to approve agenda items 12.1 through 12.10, noting that 12.3 and 12.4 will be separated. We will have 12.3 A and B and 12.4 A and B.
So moved.
Second.
Just a voice vote, so.
How do you want them to do that, though, with the voice vote? Should I just honestly?
Just say no.
Okay.
No to the item.
Okay. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Wait, what are we voting?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
12.1 to 12.10.
12.1 to 12.10?
Oh, as a whole.
Yeah.
As a
As a
Like the
whole.
other
Yeah.
times we've done this.
I'll go as a whole, and then,
Wait, just to be clear, it includes,
including
It includes everything as is.
as is plus A and B.
They're voting yes on everything.
They're voting
not
yes on everything.
like, even A and B.
Well, you could just say, if you want to vote, you
But
can say
they're
yes
still
to
voting
everything
yes
except
on the
12.2.
separation.
and then I'll take your.
So
I was
it's
just clarifying for
Yes.
Angela.
So it's just six.
We're taking 12.1 through 12.10. I noted that 12.3 and 12.4 would be A and B both. If you're all in favor for all, raise your hand, please.
Dan, Justin, Brian. Okay.
So I'd like to make another motion.
We're still,
Wait, yeah.
we're still voting.
Yeah,
We're still voting.
Still voting, okay.
You want,
Yeah.
we need just a little clarity.
Yeah,
just
clarity.
to-
Okay. So now we have to go individually through them.
So now-
Well, no, I think then if there's nays, you would
No,
say
you just- okay.
yes, except, I'm assuming, correct?
Well, I can take that.
Yes.
Okay,
We can just kind of go through.
yeah.
We could go through it, yeah.
If anybody has a no or an abstention, just let me know.
All right.
Let me, if it's
Yep,
okay, let me
yep.
start. It'll clarify, right? So I am yes as to everything except for 12.3A and 12.4A, which will be subject to a motion that I'll make after this. So it's not an A, I guess it's a abstention.
No.
It's an abstention.
No.
This is an up or down vote.
Correct.
So, okay, I thought
She
I'm
wanted to
confused, that's
table.
what I'm having trouble with here.
No, so,
I think it was one or the other.
What the board has voted on is to split
Yeah,
12.3 and 12.4 between A and B for up or down votes on 12-1 through 12-10 and A and B of 12-3 and 12-4.
That's,
Yeah,
No, we had
the
talked
motion
about-
should be to table.
table.
Well, but there,
So that,
there's been no motion.
yeah, so
That's
what,
why I'm confused.
so, all right,
So, but then we gotta
you have a motion on the, we have a,
rescind the motion.
we have to rescind that from the table.
Okay, I rescind the motion to separate.
No, no,
Oh,
no.
wait a second.
The vote.
Can you
Stop.
rescind the
I'm very
motion?
confused.
Send
Do
the
you,
vote
can I
to
take
vote.
over
Yes.
for a second? Okay. So there was a motion and a second to separate the items, and that's fine.
Yes.
Separate.
The second one was Dan and Nicole saying that they wanted to move the items, and I think maybe that's the one that we want to rescind.
I will rescind my vote,
Okay.
my motion.
Okay. And Nicole?
Yes,
Okay,
rescind.
great. All right, now they're back.
Now you can.
Okay,
You're on.
so
Wait,
now,
we can rescind a
Yeah.
motion
Uh-huh.
after we've
Yeah.
had the
Yeah.
vote
Yes.
already in process?
Sure.
Actually,
Yep.
for the whole meeting, I think you can.
Look at us.
so now I'm making a motion.
Now you,
Okay, okay. Now I'm confused. It's still separated, right? A and
Still
B?
separated.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to table 12.3A and 12.4A.
So moved.
No, second.
Or second.
It's getting late.
A motion to take from the table is not a debatable motion.
Right.
It is, and the reason for that is it would make no sense. If the motion fails, then you will have had the same debate on the same motion
Right.
twice. And so there's no need for debate on a motion to table, which is, for now, you're taking it, it will become a pending motion for a later time. And so you have the motion, you have the second, and now you just vote.
all right,
To
So I have
table.
Beth making the motion for a second.
right.
Okay. And we're tabling 12.3A and 12.4A.
Correct.
All in favor?
Oh, I thought we don't need, we do need to vote on.
We're just voting on tabling.
Voting on
This is a
tabling.
vote on tabling. Those two items.
Okay, so I've got, I guess I'm gonna have to do more of a.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you want a roll call vote?
I
It
may-
might be
I might take a
easier.
roll call
Okay.
just for my own sanity.
Sure.
All right, Dr. Dini.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. Mr. Chapman, you're right.
No.
Noted. Dr. Dini.
yes.
Ms. Gallo.
Yes.
Ms. Hinz.
Yes.
Ms. Cotran.
Yes.
Mr. Lordy.
Yes.
Sorry, Mr. McIsaac.
Yes.
Ms. Ryder.
Yes.
Mr. Spanton.
No.
Ms. Beato.
No.
And Ms. Lane.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, so
So
now,
now we go.
Now we vote on the rest of it, okay.
do I need to restate the motion and second, however, since we rescinded? Yes,
I would
I'm assuming.
call for a motion for
Yeah.
12.1 through 12.10 with items 12.3A
3B.
removed and
Yep.
12.4A removed.
So I need a motion and a second to approve agenda items 12.1 through 12.10, noting 12.3A and 12.4A have been removed. They've been,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Who was the first?
Right.
Second.
Me.
All me.
Me.
Second.
All in Dan.
It's late.
Gotta keep up with it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Okay. Okay, moving on to Community Relations and Student Affairs. Tara, do we have a committee report?
Sure, thank you. Community Relations and Student Affairs met virtually on September 25th at 6 p.m. Everyone was present except for Dan Stanton and Jessica Vioto. We had two agenda items. The first one that was brought to our attention was Dr. Burjack's opened the meeting by addressing questions about BH students buying their own tickets for homecoming. A message had gone out to parents about purchasing tickets. and it was brought up for discussion to see if the district could fund or gather ideas to offset the costs. We noted that historically, students have always paid for homecoming and other activities like that, and that it teaches them how to fundraise for decorations, food, and other expenses. These events are usually put on by the student, class officers and other groups. The CACS trips and all that, they worked on life skills on learning how to organize, fund, and put on events. We did ask about maybe the possibility of looking at ways to help them fundraise, or Cynthia Reyes brought up that maybe we could hold a raffle for tickets for students so that it wasn't obvious that some students might not be able to attend if they couldn't afford the cost. And Dr. Burgess reminded us that there's already support in place for students who cannot afford them. So that was reassuring. The other thing that came out of that was that, maybe we can put towards the board and look at fundraising ideas from us, from the board in the future for all these events. We agree that the students should continue to pay for the tickets, which teaches them responsibility in fundraising, and that support will remain available for those who can't afford. And we came to the conclusion that we should keep it as it is right now and not, fund it as a board or as a school district. The other area that came to our attention was brought to my attention actually through constituents. Approximately 3 years ago, the plaques that were in the hallway before the gym at Voorhees were removed, and these were at the inception of the school, so people were concerned about the historic and the tradition that was going on. But once it was brought to the attention, Dr. Burgess said that Brian Bauman and Mr. Peterson are going to be putting together some digital display, kind of like a screen that will have all of these accolades. There's the captain awards, the most outstanding in the different sports through the years. So once that happens, we'll make an announcement and celebrate the history of the school. So it's not going away. The way we've had it in the past is gone, but we're going to be able to keep the tradition and the history from 1975 on to now, which is scary to think that it's 50 years. Because my name used to be up on the But anyway, so that's going to be exciting, and I can't wait to see what they've come up with. There was some proposals, and it'll be a positive for the school district and the Viking history on athletics. And the other one was that was brought up again through the community, and I want to put this into your finance and facilities, is that there were constituents that are saying that the school, the gas line coming up from Highbridge, the people that live on the roadway up to Voorhees are being told that they can't get natural gas unless Voorhees does something. So I know it had come up in finance and facilities, maybe 7 years ago when John Mealy was chairing it. So I don't know if we can maybe look at, is it something that we can look at? In the past, the cost of retrofitting all of our systems was prohibitive to that, but I'd like the constituents to think that we haven't just ignored Elizabethtown Gas or whatever the gas system is and look at it.
Propane up there?
It's propane up there.
Is it?
Is propane up there?
Yeah. Propane or oil.
It's
Yeah.
Voorhees,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, wait, Voorhees is oil?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're propane.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so just a suggestion, I probably need to talk to the engineers or whatever, but if we could, because potentially you can do it where you're not retrofitting everything, you're just retrofitting a couple things, so they at least bring the gas lines up, it's whatever just to help out.
Yeah, so the constituents have mentioned it, so I thought we could bring it up again and discuss it and have, report out that we've looked at it and there might be a possibility.
Plus, in the longer term, it may cost less. It will cost less.
Be
So
more efficient.
It's a good investment for the school.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. I think we wanted it before, it became one of those things that.
Yeah, propane to gas is, natural gas is one thing, but oil to gas.
Oil to gas was a little bit more difficult.
So anyway, so if you wouldn't mind, we could maybe explore that and then we can report out to the people that are wanting their gas up the 513 line. I think they're holding them hostage. They're saying they won't come up from Krieger Road unless Voorhees does it, so.
I remember hearing about this in the past.
Yeah, a long time.
Because I remember being on the committee where John talked about it. I don't think it was, at the time, I don't think it was feasible for us to make a change, but it could be different now.
Yeah, because, I mean, literally, we did it on my street, so it was the same thing. When we bought our house, they said if a certain percentage of houses say they'll commit to gas, then they'll make the conversion, so.
And they pay for laying the pipes and all that.
Yeah, they run it
The
all
only
the
thing
way
we
up
would
to
have
the
to pay for would be like the stuff in the school to transition, right?
But I think the cost to do everything would be probably prohibitive, but if we did, we converted something to gas, then it might be something that would be enough to get them to run it without us incurring all the costs, and then we could maybe over time make those changes, as things break down, as you're replacing the boilers, if they go to gas, something like that, so it might be a good idea.
Well, thank you. I know
Yeah, sure.
they'll be happy to hear that we're looking into it. And that's all we have right now. We do have 2 action items to vote on. It's our standard overnight field trips and then our student activity contracts. So those are 13.1 and 13.2.
We have a motion and second to approve agenda items 13.1 and 13.2.
Second.
That was Beth and Brendan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? So Tara. Tara is our Hunterdon County's the school board's president, so I have asked her, because Christina had that job, that role, so Tara's gonna update us.
Okay, well, we had our first county meeting and it was great to see, we had some board members attend and it was exciting. And we also had, it was a roundtable discussion. It was a superintendent's roundtable discussion and our own Dr. Burjath was one of our roundtable participants, along with Jim Belsky, who is the coordinator of information technology at Reddington, Dr. Jonathan Hart from Reddington Township, and Dr. Gregory Hobaugh from Highbridge. And our topic was on defining acceptable AI use from K to 12. And it was a really informative, enlightening, we could have probably gone on, but I thought it was a great roundtable, and it gave boards a lot to think about because this is changing rapidly. So it was exciting to have our participation here and have all of our, some of our board members here with us. The one interesting news from the county is that Catherine Poria, who had been our past president, is now actually working for New Jersey School Boards, and she is replacing Gwen Thornton, who we've had with our boards since I've been on here for like the last 8 years. So it's exciting to see that someone from Hunterdon County now is now in the position.
Hunterdon County.
Yeah, Hunterdon County.
And she's terrific.
And we have, our next session will be in December, and then one again in the January 29th, and then the big one that I hope we all can go to is the Unsung Heroes, and that's going to be Wednesday, March 4th, and that's down in Flemington area. And it's such a wonderful program. It's our opportunity to have students from North and Voorhees and all the school districts in the county be recognized as the unsung heroes. So it gives us the time to recognize the students that aren't always being recognized. So that's a fabulous one to come to. And I hope you all come because we have a nice time and the food was good. We feed you. And then the other delegate is, the resolutions are closed and we don't have what the resolutions that we'll be voting on, but I'm the representative for our district, and that's going to be on November 22nd down in, they have it at Mercer County Community College. Now, I'm the voting delegate, but everybody here is allowed to go. So if you'd like to go, you just let the BA know that we have to register. But you can attend, and it's kind of interesting to have all of the delegates from the whole state. It brings different perspectives. We're all facing similar situations. So it's nice to see what other, counties are doing.
And also, what's did they post the deadline for submissions?
It is, it's this Friday.
Okay.
So, I mean, I
For
don't
the
know.
for the year, are they doing it again in the spring?
Oh, we do spring again, yeah.
Yeah,
So
maybe
if there's any resolutions we want to.
share that with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Tara. Moving on to personnel.
I just want to add one thing, if I can. Tara, it's my first time going to one of those events yesterday. I thought it was very well put together. I thought it was very impressive, first-class event. I think you did amazing.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I do have our questions that I wrote for the panelists, so I'd love to share them with you because it was very thought-provoking and.
It was, and I thought it particularly tied in because AI is one of the district goals. So I thought it was on topic of what we were working on. So, but no, kudos to you. It was a first-class event and job well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And it's an honor. I love our board, and our board has traditionally been very involved with the Hunterdon County, so we've been going. Yeah, we have chalet, and then we do south part of the county in the Flemington area. But it's exciting to see, and I'd love to see more of our K-8s because they're coming into us and have them participate. And a lot of the K-8s don't participate, so my goal is to get them out to, be empowered by our meetings, so.
And I guess it's open to anyone, even outside the county.
Oh, yeah,
correct?
we had a couple people attend.
There was a gentleman from Middlesex that I met,
Yep.
and I was like,
Yeah, and a woman came from Pemberton. We went to Middlesex, Marin Spagala was speaking at one of the counties, Middlesex County, 2 years ago?
On communications.
Yeah, on communications.
And so we all went down to see her present there, so, yeah. You can go, and you can go virtually.
except last night when.
No, but if there's a topic where you want to see what's going on in Morris County or Warren County, we can go on virtually. You can just, register and attend.
It was a first-class event. Good job.
Yeah. Good, thank you.
Thank you to both Tara and Dr. Berjak.
Great job.
Of course.
And you can get that, we could put that on the drive for the board to see that, couldn't we?
We can, but I think we had.
It wasn't?
There were technical difficulties.
Oh, technical difficulties. Where was Jim?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to personnel. Angela, can you report for us?
Oh, goodness. This is so exciting. Yes, so thank you for allowing me to serve as personnel chair. This was sort of a transitional meeting, this first one. And so there was sort of a little, just quick little overview. I don't know if any of you had a chance to see the video. I know Dr. Berjak and I discussed how we'll collaborate moving forward with the agenda because there really wasn't an agenda because we were just starting. And in attendance was Dr. Berjak's, Kim, and Tara.
It was three of us.
Yep. And so, okay. So, yeah, I began the meeting just sharing that I'm excited to serve as the chair, and sort of provided more overarching committee housekeeping items such as, reviewing norms for the meeting to maintain really efficiency and productivity when we come together. Generally, as our board committees are sort of silos of a few participants by design, one thing that's important to me is to be sure that there exists a way in which we are aware of the larger dialogue with the broader board. To that end, what I shared with the Personnel Committee is a system I intend on using for maintaining a central communication source. So when questions come in from board members and we find answers, we're going to just maintain a sort of log in a file so that we can see the flow of questions and answers. Everyone can see them. And what you won't see is your name if you ask the question because names are irrelevant. What's relevant is the question and the answer and getting the information. And in that way, then even though we are not all in that committee, we can all see the flow of information. And chances are, if you have a question, someone else may have the same question. I don't know how everyone's feeling, but I know when I'm watching the videos, and I watch them all, from our committees, I find that I'm raising my hand and want to answer questions. Me too. Yes. And then I'm like, oh wait, it's a video. I can't speak. Yeah, so there's this sort of virtual wall that's created. But yeah, so, and this, I had been thinking about this for a while. I would like to extend the same sort of system to all the committee chairs to do that, so that again, we can see the flow of questions that come in and responses. And this was also something, if you may recall, Kim brought up at the July Board of Ed meeting when she sort of spoke to that same thing. Although I wasn't here, I was watching and again tried to participate, but I wasn't here. So we sort of concluded with going back to the strategic plan and sort of keeping that in our forefront and in our minds. You know, I sort of highlighted a lingering, burning question for us to think about, not to answer on the spot, but in our work moving forward, and that is how can the strategic plan inform the personnel's committee work? So something to sort of, you know, keep us at our core as we move forward. Next month, we'll continue our work in reviewing job descriptions, and if anyone has questions or agenda items they'd like to send my way, I'll be more than happy to include them for our next committee, personnel committee. I'm happy to be on.
Thank you. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
We will not be going into executive session.
So I move to strike 16 and 17 from the agenda.
Second.
So you need a second.
Second.
Brian and Dan?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? I would not think so. We all agreed on that. I need a motion and a second to approve agenda items 18.1 through 18.2. Do I need to change?
No, I think we took it
we
out.
already took it out. Okay. So 18.1 and 18.2.
So moved.
Beth?
Second.
Nicole? All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, it's personnel. Sorry.
Mr. Chapman?
Yes, 18.1, abstain 18.2.
Dr. Dini? Yes. Ms. Gallo?
Yes.
Ms. Hind?
Yes.
Ms. Kotro?
Yes.
Mr. Lordy?
Yes.
Mr. McIver?
Yes.
Ms. Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Spante?
Yes.
Ms. Beato?
I vote yes, but I have to abstain on the executive minutes because I wasn't there.
18. And Ms. Lena?
Abstain on 18.2 and yes on 18.1.
All right, thank you. Motion carries.
Any old or new business?
I'm hoping
It's
it's
okay.
quick. So, I'm not sure if everyone has seen it. Well, let me preface it with this. First of all, I thought that the ribbon cutting ceremony at the Polytech was wonderful, and it was so nice to see everybody there, even though some of us came a little late. But it was really a wonderful event, and I think it was really terrific. So then when I learned shortly after that the vocational school is adding performing arts to their curriculum starting in the fall. They're starting out with dance, theater, and technical theater, and then the following year they're going to add the music element to it as well. Those classes are going to happen. It's out in Lambertville, I guess. That's what South Hunterdon is. But the reason I'm raising it is they have, indicated that there's information sessions happening over the next 3 months, all at South Hunterdon. I just wonder if it might be possible to see if someone could come here for one session.
One
maybe.
session?
Yeah, because I think because we've spoken about, the dance program and students having to go to, I think it's to RTCC for that, or Somerset. And I think it'd be really terrific if we could, have somebody come here to do a session.
At the board meeting or for parents?
Oh, parents.
No, for parents.
I'm sorry, yeah, so that North and Voorhees could come in and not have to go all the way out to Lambertville every week. And I guess, the follow-up question to that is, what does transportation look like for those students?
Well, we
if they
had that
wanna go?
discussion when, with Polytech. How are we going to do that?
I know.
Because that was the question to be.
Well, we would transport them down there.
We would,
Yeah.
okay, so we have, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So all the students that come here, they get transported by their home district.
got it, okay.
And how's that day gonna look for those students, that
Yeah.
travel time?
It's a full-time program from what I understand, so they would,
Okay.
they would go right there.
Oh, so they would go to school at South Hunterdon, their regular education.
I believe, I don't know all the details, but that's what I thought was.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think it's great, it's wonderful that they're adding that program. I mean, the Polytech vocational programs that we have in this county are just phenomenal. So it's great that they're adding this into.
We have no control over that. The student from the northern part of our district that wants to go all the way down there,
It is expensive.
we just,
Yeah, I mean, the inverse is happening right now.
Right.
So, if a student that wants to come here, is transported by South Hunterdon. So. And that's part of a countywide vocational system.
do we have any say on what things they start? Could they start, English vocational, or math?
They have to be CTE programs, and they are prescribed by, I think, the federal government, with a CTE code.
Well, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll
Great.
we'll
I
figure,
think
we'll
that
figure it
anything
out,
for-
anything
yeah.
for kids.
More opportunities.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I know everyone's waiting with bated breath for 20. Can I call for a motion second to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstentions?
Name.
I doubt that, Dan.